At Streams, we are constantly being asked about what different elements might mean in dreams. One that happens often is flying. Have you ever had one of those dreams where you're flying? Maybe you're flying and there's nothing that's supporting you. You're just flying like Superman or Supergirl through the air. Or maybe you're standing. Normally, you're not like laid out like Superman would be, but you're just standing, but you're flying through the air. I can remember I used to have these dreams, and some of you might remember Super Mario Brothers 3, where you had to jump and you had to keep on hitting the jumping, and his legs would just keep on going, and the faster it go, he could actually cause himself to go higher up in the air. Well, I had dreams where I would jump up and I just had to keep on jumping to get myself to go higher and higher in the air. Well, flying often talks about moving in the things of the Spirit. Now, if you are moving in the things of the Spirit, the way that you're flying tells you about your current capacity to move in the things of the Spirit. So my dreams where I was jumping and I just had to keep on jumping and jumping to stay in it is I was trying to stay in the Spirit, but it was taking a lot of effort for me at that time in my life to stay in the Spirit. Now, I had another dream where I was sitting down like I was on a go-kart, but there was no go-kart. My legs were out in front of me, and I was just sitting there, and I was on the road driving, and there were cars around me, but it was just me, and I'm above the ground just flying through, and I had so much control. And there was no fear whatsoever that I didn't have a car around me. I was just enjoying myself, getting to where I was going. That was a very different meaning. I had capacity to operate. And at the time, I wasn't in a ministry. I was operating in ministry, but I wasn't part of an organization. I wasn't part of a group at that time that was taking me where I was going. But I was just moving in the things of the Spirit, and God had given me a high level of control at that period of time. See, different periods of time in our life, the flying might be different. Some of you will remember a show that came out, I think it was in the 80s. It might have been in the early 90s, but I think it was in the 80s. It was it the All-American Hero or the American Hero? And it was about this guy that found a superhero suit, but he didn't get the instruction book that came with it. And he was trying to figure out how to work with it. And he was trying to figure out how to fly, but he couldn't just jump and go like you would expect him to be able to. He had to jump, and then he'd jump again, and then he'd jump again. And sometimes he didn't have very good control of his flying. If you have a dream like that, it's called The Great American Hero. That's what it was called. If you have a dream like that, it's saying that maybe you don't have as much control, but you're moving in the things of the Spirit. That's still amazing. That's awesome. Now, in another video, I talked about falling, so I'm not going to talk about that in this Dream Element video. But what about those times where you're flying and you're escaping things? See, God has given you spiritual ability that allows you to escape attack that's come. Now, one of the other things that we have seen as a pattern is that often people that are in abusive relationships or abusive situations, such as children, they will have dreams of flying where they fly over an area. And often what that is, it's not necessarily about where they're at in the Spirit. It's God that's putting hope in their hearts that they're going to be able to get over this circumstance, that they're going to overcome in the situation that they're in. And so it's hope that's being infused into their heart. I love how God would do that to somebody in that kind of situation. Just infuse hope. You're going to overcome this. You're going to make it through this. You're going to be able to get past this situation that you're in. Isn't that so much like our God? He's amazing. I love that. I love how he speaks to us in dreams. So flying, that is another interesting dream element.